Welcome to the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan, joined by Alan for this very special episode. How you going, Alan?
Good, happy to be here.
Yeah, it's an exciting one for us. We got the opportunity from Big Potato Games to talk about some board games as part of their, end of financial year sort of campaign. Encouraging people to buy board games as part of their, their pre-Christmas shopping and end of financial year sort of specials discounts. Yeah. This is not a This is not a paid promotion. We did get sent the games for free. But that does not affect our opinion and review of said products, but it is a promoted video.
Yep. All of our thoughts are our own, and they will continue to be that way. But since we're making a video, you can assume that we definitely have a positive review ahead.
Yes, otherwise we would just be like, we're not interested, thanks. Yeah. The toy catalogue goes from the 13th of June, to the 10th of July. And there is currently a JB Hi-Fi board game special as well, that they would have liked us to send as part of our message for this video as well. If you're interested in picking these games up, you can do that anywhere. They sell video games, Kmart, Big W, JB Hi-Fi, and online. And
I'd say it's a nice and refreshing thing these days. Board games were a lot bigger when we were kids.
We like our board games.
Yeah. I think as we grew up, console gaming kind of took over. And now for a lot of the newer gen kids, it's Roblox on the iPad.
And we've discussed this. I think we've discussed this a couple of times on the show in previous episodes too. Board games also help with communication. And
definitely.
Empathy and it's a lot different from video games. It has other constructive benefits that we enjoy playing as friends. It brings you closer together.
Yeah, and again, I'm not hating on iPads because I didn't grow up with them, but still, you're very much as you would say, center of attention when you're playing an iPad game. A lot of times, you are. It's just you get to decide. You're in charge. Whereas when you're playing in a board game, you're in person. You got to follow the rules, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can turn the iPad off. You can flip the board. To be fair, but like you said, it develops
cooperation, communication skills.
Yep.
All kinds of benefits from board games. You can listen to our PAX video. We spent most of the time, we enjoyed the board games more than anything else.
Yeah, the tabletop area is usually our favorite area to kind of peruse and book in a session to play something. It's, again, there's video games all around. There's nothing wrong with that. But board games are a great time, I think.
And they have a special place in our hearts.
Yeah, and so definitely worth a look at. So there were two games that we received. The first was You Can't Say and the second one was Stupid Questions to Ask Your Friends.
Dumb questions to ask your
friends. Dumb questions. See, I just said if
ring.
as most people are, you have little kind of AdWords that you use to fill in the gaps when you're speaking. You can say, it's like this, or that kind of stuff. And this whole game is, you can't say that. You can't say You have to make a sentence, follow some rules, and get your, meaning across to your teammates and win points and beat the other team. Man, is it hard.
It is very difficult. Also, it's chaotic fun. It's because the other team isn't just kind of sitting there doing nothing while you're trying to get points.
They're trying to catch you out.
They're trying to catch you out, and they get points if you do get caught out.
Yeah. So
everyone's engaged the whole time.
Yep. And dumb questions to ask your friends. I keep saying stupid. Dumb questions to ask your friends is a game where everyone takes a turn, and you
give an answer first.
You give the answer first and ask the questions later.
And you have to rate the questions based on how likely is that the question they got asked, essentially.
So both of those great party games, I think most of them benefit from having a larger group of people. You can play with it's a requisite 4 people. Yeah. But these games mostly, I think, larger groups would definitely work well.
We played with 4 people and we had a funner time with You Can't Say
Yeah.
I think dumb questions to ask your friends would be better definitely with a larger group of people.
Because you've got a bigger variety of questions or answers to kind of work from. So we'll obviously discuss them a bit further. We'll start with the unboxings.
Okay, so a nice pink box with checkered sort of color pattern.
Yeah, I'd say the colouring and the overall build of the box pretty good.
Big Potato Games make good boxes generally.
Start off with a nice coloured rule book. Again, it's not necessary, but having nicely coloured, kind of well produced pages kind of adds to the fun of the game and just the joy of actually ownership. Similarly, the game board itself, it's got the pink and black colour scheme.
Yep.
Pretty simplistic overall. There's not a whole lot going on, and the dreaded bell. I think we had a good time with that one.
We did. All right. Calm down, the guy from Breaking Bad.
So putting the bell away, you've got a little, what do you call it, hourglass?
Yeah, timer.
I think it lasts about 45 seconds.
Yeah, it's 45-second timer.
Yep. And you just got, the rest of it is just game cards.
Yeah. The packaging is like, it's good quality, functional packaging. It doesn't need to be flashy, which also kind of helps keep the cost down with a lot of these games.
And it's not huge either, so you can easily carry it.
Yeah.
I know, like something like a Settlers of Catan or something.
Yeah.
You break your back carrying that and like the expansion sets and
Yeah.
everything. So these are pretty sweet, nice and easily transportable.
Got some rule cards.
Rule
Now,
cards.
these are the cards that make this game what it is.
Yeah.
So these are like optional, well not optional, they're mandatory.
You
just
flip
they
up a rule
changed
card
it,
depending on how far you get into the game.
and they changed how the game works completely,
Yeah.
which you'll see later on. We'll hear it later on, I suppose.
And basically the principle is you've got A cards and B cards.
A is always an adjective, B is usually a noun.
Yep. And you basically have to use the words, within the rules. Don't say to describe them to your teammates. Your teammates have to guess them correctly. And, that's how you progress to the end of the game. Obviously, we may have played the game a little bit outside the rules, but
we're also learning as we go.
Yeah, we're still learning. And at the same time, it's always an option to play house rules.
All right. So we've got the first word, or the first combination of words, ugly vicar.
Ready?
All right, ready,
Set.
go. Not good looking.
Ugly.
Like a priest, but
chaplain.
more English.
Bishop.
There was a TV show about a female...
Vicar.
Yes.
Didn't say hooray.
Hooray. I
kidding.
also said but you didn't pick it up.
No, we didn't pick it up. Just saw there, they ended up progressing to a stage where they had to flip a new rule card. And that rule card said that you have to speak in a very high voice.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it adds to the hilarity of the game because, one, you got to concentrate and actually have that high voice. And when you're saying some of the things that we ended up saying with that high voice, it gets really pretty funny.
It does. It's another thing that adds to the challenge. Obviously, you might not appreciate it watching a video about it, but when you have to think about some of the really weird rule changes that you can get docked points or give the other team points if you don't, say, bend over a certain way or stand up and sit down or speak in a high voice, and some of the other cards that we encountered in this game, you're doing all of those while also trying to think of the answer.
The mental juggling that you have to take that takes place really, it makes the game fun and it makes the game replayable. Otherwise, if it's just get to the end, it's really quick and simplistic. It's these rules and, the whole other team.
Like the challenge cards.
Yeah, sitting there to catch you out, ring that bell.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, haha. But, to ring that bell to catch you out is adds to so much of the danger factor. I think that's absolutely great.
Yeah, it keeps it replayable, as Alum said, and it adds different unique twists. Keeps both teams engaged for the whole game too, not just on their turn, which is good.
Talking a very high voice.
Circle, triangle, and...
You're talking a very high voice.
Oh, square! Comes out your ass. Guess. Get fucked. Square fart. Hooray! Hooray!
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So for the next round here, the adjective was mini and the noun was peas. So Nathan had to make James say mini peas. When you're ready to start, Nathan.
Not big, but
Small.
smaller than small.
Tiny.
Similar, like a mouse.
Microscopic.
Not Mickey, but
Mini.
not beans, but vegetable.
Not beans. Legumes.
Similar, blank and beans. Green vegetable, round, small.
Peas. Peas.
Mini peas, hooray!
Hooray! Okay. Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Very yummy food.
Delicious.
Yes. A vegetable that millennials like on their toast.
Delicious avocado.
I wish we got that on camera.
Unpleasant smelling,
Odorous.
more casual.
Stinky. Smelly.
Yes. Prickly plant in the desert.
Smelly cactus.
The time just ran out. Should we give
We'll
it
give
to
it to
him?
him.
Yeah. Did we show this card? Which is why. And we can't say word. You can't say like. Ooh, these are hard.
Oh, wait to get to this
Yeah.
one.
Shit.
Alright, Jake, if you'll show our card, and me and James look away. We've got it down to a bit of a system now. Alright, when you're ready.
Who am I giving it to?
Me. Okay, when you're ready, flip the timer. Go. Something that would be described as a hole in it,
Described as a
or
holy.
empty on the inside. Maybe a person that doesn't have a lot of substance to them.
Airhead.
It's also a place an animal might stay in the ground.
Hole. I'm being that thing now, aren't I?
A little bit.
Forgetful, airheaded, empty head. There's an empty hole.
You could say it's sleepy, this word.
Burrow. What was that?
He said
Oh,
word.
this word. Alright.
Another.
So that's the overall gist of the game. We will note that for brevity purposes, we did cut out kind of waiting times and everything else and that. But that's your general experience that you'll probably have with the game.
And we did enjoy it very much.
Oh, we did. Like I said, the only thing lacking is probably having more people, just because you're having like one person describe, one person guess, whereas you could have like one person describe like 4 people guessing if you had a big enough team, because that's the beauty of it. Like you can just expand it pretty far.
Yeah. Again, house rules. Like this is a game that's definitely suited to house rules. You can play how you like.
Yeah.
With as many people, you can adapt it.
Yeah. As you saw towards the end there, Jake was being very ruthless, ringing that bell, enforcing the rules, which that's half the way of actually like progressing in the game, is not necessarily being correct,
Catching other people out.
catching your opponent's team out. Yeah. And that's part of the fun of like you could be on the winning stretch, and it's your turn and still lose the game because the other team's caught you out. I think that's great.
Yeah, I know. And we had lots of fun with this game. I think out of the 2 that we did play, I think I enjoyed this one more.
Yeah. I think this one is probably my favorite.
But also, this is a game suited for, I guess, a lesser number of people. And I think maybe the next game we're going to talk about really needed a larger group of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just maybe a different kind of people than we are when
Yeah.
we play board games. We get a bit competitive.
We do. And I think the other thing relating to the second game, Dumb Questions Ask Your Friends, is maybe in-jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll discuss that further.
There's a couple of in-jokes that we could have used if another person had got the card.
Yeah.
That obviously we didn't include in this because in-jokes are, not everyone will understand them, and rightly so. But again, yeah, it's definitely something that if you have a lot of in-jokes, it could be good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But that's not the experience we had with this game specifically.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the unboxing and go from there.
Okay, so another box. The boxes are pretty much the same kind of design package as our previous game here. There's
similar form factor, easily stackable.
Yeah.
Vibrant colors, which I think absolutely love.
They go well next to each other on the shelf.
Nice, a big potato game sticker. Another nicely colored rule book.
Pretty much the same format as the last rule book we had.
And again, the rules aren't overly complicated. I think that's important. I remember once playing a game where we had to watch a YouTube video to kind of understand certain rules, which just makes it too complicated.
Yeah.
The main
looking at
board
you, betrayal on the house at the hill or whatever it's called.
The main board is just a half ladder thing. I guess that goes from least likely to most likely. Different categories: animals, players, numbers, food, objects, and famous people.
all stacked kind of, with obviously the category cards being a bit taller. Animals, you have to change the name of the... missed that one.
Players relates to shit.
We cut it too quick to read them out
No.
properly, but viewers can pause and
Yeah.
read the cards if they so desire.
So this is just a quick example of the
We're just giving some examples here.
of the cards. What kind of questions you'd get? I think overall, a pretty good variety of questions.
Yeah. With different vibes of the questions
Yeah.
too, which keep it kind of fun. They're not very similar.
Oops.
Hey, oops. Did you see that jerk? He dropped his notes.
Maybe show it to the camera again. All right.
My answer is Helm.
My answer is also Alan.
My answer is also.
Which player is most likely to tell you off for not using a reusable coffee cup? I think so. Sorry, Taylor Swift needs a backup singer for her show tonight. Who would do the best job?
Look, you try.
Actually,
He be a dancer.
Which player is most likely to accidentally go viral on TikTok? Which player still sleeps with the most teddies, probably? Which player would be late to their own funeral? Well, I only have one spot to go.
Christian was here.
I have a feeling I got 1 point.
no.
Yeah?
It's
Right on TikTok.
I got it.
alright. My answer is Neil Gaiman.
You
Okay.
you go.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Okay. We should try to give away the answer like David. By laughing, mate.
David, you look at all five.
No, don't look at
Stop
it.
cheating, man. What did you do?
I'm sorry.
Pick up one of the. I'm pretty sure he did that last round as well.
Yeah, that.
Which famous person would you least like to be sat on next to on a 48-hour car ride? I'll put this at 3, I reckon. You have to swap wardrobes with a famous person. Who do you pick? That's not very like my answer. Which famous person's face would you like most to see on a banknote? I mean, that's pretty good, but I'll put that at 2 because it's funny, but I don't think it's the answer. Which famous person's TED Talk would you most like to attend? Gilbert Gottfried, I'm not feeling it. Which famous person would you pick to narrate the story of your life in an audiobook?
Yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried has the funny voice though.
Yeah, you got it.
Gaiman's Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
He's the champ, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
So that was dumb questions to ask your friends. Pretty good game. I think, like we said earlier, out of the two, it's probably second choice.
It was our second choice, but everyone's friend group is different.
Yeah, and again, this game probably will benefit a lot from a minimum of 6 players.
I feel like this is also a game I could play with my parents more than the other game too.
Yeah.
This is like a friendlier game.
Yeah.
I feel like I could play this with my parents better than I could play the You Can't Say Umm with your parents.
Like with the dumb questions, the answers can very easily be pretty tame and still, be appropriate. Whereas sometimes, like, the way James described a fart, it was a bit rough.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't want to be doing that in front of parents or young kids.
But this is more of a family friendly game as opposed to they're both family friendly, but as opposed to the other game, I would say you can play this with with children to an extent. You can cater the content a bit better.
Yeah. Whereas I think the other one, like some of the words like a vicar or something, maybe
kids might not know.
Yeah.
But with this, the kids come up with their answers.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say at the same time, I'm sure there'd probably be adults that wouldn't know what a vicar is.
Yeah.
The only reason I know is because of that television show, The Vicar of Dibley. That's the one. So, yeah. Pretty good game. Worth a check out. Again, like we said earlier, we absolutely love board games and tabletop stuff. More people should be into it. There's definitely a renaissance of like tabletop RPGs. There has been for the last few years, and now you see YouTube shorts. If you let the algorithm think you're slightly into it, everything will just be like different DMs telling little stories about the dungeon groups, which is a little more complicated. Again, you set up a D&D campaign, you're in there for weeks,
if not months
or years in some
in
cases.
serious groups.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who's there. You start fresh.
And again, these games, big potato games, they're getting quite big. They're
Yeah.
easily available pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Again, you can pick these up from JB Hi-Fi. They currently have a sale on as of the recording of this video.
Yep.
And Big W, Kmart,
Yeah, all your department stores.
Amazon.
Again, there's something quite important to be said about like a tangible kind of game. So
100%.
much stuff is digital. Just having like a nice box, you can just display it somewhere if you like to do that. But even if it's just packed away, they're still just nice to look at. The cards and everything else are really well finished. There's been a few situations where we have bought games online, usually from international sellers, and the quality control is not exactly there.
With Cards Against Humanity clones.
Yeah. They frequently don't end up. Some of the cards have typos and mistakes, and some
Just
of the
the
cards.
quality of the finish of the cards isn't up to standard.
Yeah. Whereas in this, everything was very nicely done. Which, the nicer it looks, the more you're likely to take care of it. That sort of thing. I would say, these are well produced, and by people that understand games. It's not just somebody trying to jump on a hype. It's people that understand games making games, which is very important. So definitely worth a check out if you're inclined. If you're not so inclined, I'd still say get maybe one of them. See with your friend group or your family. You may actually develop a new kind of hobby.
And they're not that expensive.
No.
Even full price, they're not that expensive.
No, they're not that
and
expensive.
they're quite often, at a discount anyway.
Yeah.
I hope you like this video.
Yep.
If you do like this video, we'll do more. As a group, I guess we have quite a lot of board games that we could do something like this with in the future.
Definitely.
If people are up for it.
Yep. So, leave us your feedback. If you didn't like it, tell us what you didn't like. We're happy to hear negative feedback as well. I think for future content, we'll try and film it from more of a proper top-down perspective, so you can see all the game content in full focus. But that's, a bit of us learning the trade.
Yeah, definitely.
So, if you're interested in more of our Tuesday review content, you can like and share our Facebook page.
Yes, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. We're on Blue Sky and Newsmast and Twitter.
Yep.
At Tuesday Review AU on all platforms.
And again, if you are interested in more of our content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We always have more content coming and some exclusive YouTube bonuses. Thanks for listening.
Adios, cousins.